in a greenhouse around the corner, finding energy solutions. Just around the corner is where it's all happening.
Welcome. I'm your host, Trisha Zima. I've been travelling Australia finding educational centres who are going green. No, not the colour green, but becoming more energy efficient. In this day and age of increased utility bills, these centres are learning to cut costs. And they're doing it by retrofitting energy efficient solutions to their current centres. Today I'm at Kenara Community House, which is comprised of this beautiful 1864s cottage and a school at the back built by parents. However, it's hot in summer and drafty and cold in winter. I've been following this centre for the last 6 months as they implement energy efficient solutions to bring down their costs and retain their excellent student rates. Join me as we explore this greenhouse around the corner.
Kenara Community House was established in 1976. It was one of the first in the state. At the same time that the house was established, a community school was set up on the site. That closed 5 years ago and we inherited the buildings, and we took on a building that needed a lot of work to make it energy efficient. Because the building had been set up as a school, it was one huge void. We had to put in separate walls to create different rooms, and that caused havoc with the internal heating and cooling. Knox Council set up a meeting for us with representatives from the consortium, and they asked us what we wanted for this building, what our needs were. Essentially, we told them that we'd really love climate control, heating and cooling that didn't cost the earth. Working in partnership with Council as the owners of the building and the Energy Consortium was an easy process for us and a way for us to achieve savings we could never have done on our own. Kenara has now become a showcase for the community so they can come and see the products that can be used and how easy it is to achieve really outstanding results.
My role there is to help Council become a more sustainable organisation through energy and water particularly, and reducing their footprint and making them more efficient. So Liz, really the first step in any energy management program is to really understand where your power is being used. And there's some really good information on the second page of the power bill, which tells you things like how your power is tracking over a 12-month period. So that's really the first step before we can sort of look at the building and get an energy audit.
So Sam, what about this room? What can we do in here?
Sure, Liz, when I first walked in, I immediately noticed the size of the gap under the door here, and it's leading out to the elements, and certainly something that you'd want to be looking at plugging up. Gaps around windows, gaps around doors can certainly bring in the hot or the cold depending on the season.
Okay, great. And what about the lighting in here?
Yeah, look, lighting's okay, compact fluorescents, which are efficient. Certainly, if they weren't, I would be saying let's move straight to LEDs. Look, in terms of efficiency, there's not a lot of difference in terms of the energy that it uses between compact fluorescents and LEDs. The one advantage LEDs do have is they start up a lot quicker and they don't have any mercury. So that's a waste disposal issue with the compact fluorescents.
So Sam, in this room we've actually got hydronic heating. How does that work?
Sure, hydronic heating's quite an efficient way to heat a building. It uses hot water which is circulated through the building, and it comes out through these little panels on the side of the walls. It's very healthy because it's not blowing air, and it's basically a very gentle radiating heat. But to make it more efficient and make it more effective, given that we've got quite a high ceiling, is to utilise those ceiling fans and turn them onto a winter mode and just push that air back down, because as you know, hot air rises, and so you want to be able to push that back down into where the people are. The first thing we did really was to have a walk around the site and just get an idea of how the building's being used, and then I organised an energy audit company to come in and actually do a proper audit, which they spent nearly a day just walking around, counting the number of lights, looking at all the opportunities, looking into the roof cavity to see what sort of insulation they have, heating, what sort of controls they have on the heating. So the solutions that we implemented were things that we've already trialled in our own building, so we knew that they worked, we knew that they provided a result, and we also knew that the people that did the work were competent and knew what they were doing. So it was quite easy to actually then go to our facilities team and say, we're now trialling these things in smaller buildings. Heating and cooling are quite often a large chunk of a building's energy use, and by addressing these issues through the solutions that I've talked about, it'll make a significant improvement to the energy used. And the other factor is staff comfort. We want them to be comfortable to be able to work in a building that's either not too hot or not too cold, because that certainly impacts on productivity as well. It's important for community buildings to show leadership, because often it's householders that are using these buildings and they see something like that implemented in a building that they're familiar with, and then quite often that then leads to them trialling it in their own homes.
Ever feel like reading your energy bill is like reading a foreign language? Don't feel bad, you're not alone. However, learning to read and compare your bills can save you a lot of money and help you to become more energy efficient. First, locate your last 4 quarterly bills for a complete picture of your usage over a full year. Find out if your centre is responsible for all or part of the total bill. Make sure you are comparing the same number of days in each billing period. Electricity and gas bills include a tariff. The tariff shows how much you will pay for the energy you use. Tariffs vary from provider to provider depending on your plan. Some providers charge less during off-peak times. Shop around or buddy up with other centres to get a better deal. The average daily use is the amount of energy used each day. This is what you want to reduce, so keep an eye on this figure from bill to bill to see how you're tracking. Use the same time last year figure to monitor any fluctuations in your energy use. The Bills Benchmark graph will help you visualize and track your performance against similar businesses. If you have solar panels and feed electricity back into the grid, the bill must show your solar credits. Check if the reading on your bill is based on actual meter readings or if it's an estimate. If the amount looks wrong, check the meter yourself. Take a date-stamped photo of the meter reading, so if there is a dispute, you will have some proof. If you have a smart meter installed, an in-home display will read information from your smart meter, which will help you monitor your usage. See more on our website.